Hello spooky friends, welcome back to Clark's Horrors, the show in which I set out to try and prove the existence of ghosts once and for all. And today we're off to Michelham Priory. This is in Michelham, East Sussex. I live fairly local to Michelham Priory, so I was able to go there several times over the course of filming. It probably took me 3 to 4 weeks to film this one. So I do apologise if it seems like it's a little bit jumpy. That's because I was there on different days. So Michelham Priory is a place pretty close to my own heart. I've been visiting this place for years. I even went there on my 18th birthday with my brother. If I can find an old embarrassing picture, I'll put it just here now for you. But as always, before we get going, I just want to say a huge thank you to all the subscribers. You're really helping this channel grow fast. And I'm going to give you a bit of a background about the history of the place and the ghosts, and then we'll jump straight into the video footage. I'll see you on the other side.
Michelham Priory is located near Michelham in Upper Dicker in the south of England. It stands proud on 7 acres of land and is surrounded entirely by England's longest medieval water-filled moat. Its story begins in the year 1229, where upon construction it housed the Augustinian Priory of the Holy Trinity and was home to many monks. It has changed hands many times over the years and has been owned by Thomas Cromwell, Anne of Cleves, Henry VIII's fourth wife, Queen Mary and Thomas Sackville, to name a few. It remained private property until the 20th century, when it became a base for the Canadian troops over the winter of 1941 as they prepared for the Dieppe raid during the Second World War. 4,936 Canadians took part in this raid, and only 2,210 returned to England upon completion. Today the Priory consists of several properties, though some have unfortunately been lost to history. Aside from the refectory, the main building, there is also a watermill thought to have been constructed sometime around the year 1260, a gatehouse built in the 15th century, and a barn built in the late 1500s. The stables, now converted to a tea room, was built in the 18th century. There was once a large church and a dormitory, but these were demolished hundreds of years ago. There are several ghosts said to stalk the Priory and the surrounding areas, and because of this it became the scene of the Most Haunted pilot episode in 2002, in which they caught a chair on camera supposedly moving on its own. Since then the Priory has been featured in several paranormal TV shows and podcasts. There are even groups in Sussex that conduct paranormal studies on the grounds after dark, and for a fee you can join them too. Onto the spirits themselves. Most frequently mentioned is the Grey Lady that has been seen both in and outside the main building. Most commonly she is spotted atop the gatehouse at the entrance of the property, peering down into the moat. It is said that her son drowned in the moat, and she is still looking for his body to this day. I'd be interested to know the origins of this story, but during my research I could find nothing else to substantiate the tale. In the kitchens there have been reports of both a maid and a young boy. The boy has also been spotted by some in the gardens that surround the property. A woman in Tudor clothing is said to walk the halls, and has been seen both during the day and after dark. Reports of a black-robed monk are common, perhaps unsurprising given the history of the building. And finally, there is the spirit of a young girl called Rosie. Rosie was encountered by one of the former owners, and is said to live within the hidden passages in the walls. Unfortunately, I was unable to ascertain where the name Rosie came from, but it seems as though this was simply the name given after the original encounter.
Hello everybody, so today we are at Michelham Priory. This is in Upper Dicker near Michelham in East Sussex in England. As you can see, this is the main building behind me here, which is said to be home to 4 or 5 spirits. Been here for about an hour so far. It's getting quite late in the day. I'm just hoping that people are going to start to leave so we can do a bit more investigating inside uninterrupted. I have done a bit of shooting with my infrared camera and haven't picked up anything so far. But one of the main ghosts is apparently a Grey Lady. Again, another Grey Lady I know, said to be in the tower that surrounds the moat of this place. We're going to head over there in a minute and take a look. Story goes that her son drowned in the moat and she climbed to the top of the tower looking for him from up there. She's been seen many times by many people over the years on the top of that tower. Inside the building there is a woman walking around in Tudor dress, as well as a little boy and maids in the kitchen, so we're going to go and take a look at that in a moment. but I'm not sure how much we're going to get here today, but we'll do our
now we
best.
are on the
And
first floor of
see you
the
in there.
tower, which overlooks the car parks on my left and Michelham Priory building itself on my right. This is where the woman is said to haunt mainly, although she has been seen in the actual property itself as well. Unfortunately, we can't get to the very top of this at the moment. As you can see, we are now outside the tower building itself. The moat runs down to the right and the left on either side, and up the top there you can see the crenellated arches of where the Grey Lady is said to peer from the top, staring at people outside and weeping down into the moat looking for her dead son. Now, we were obviously filming this bit earlier on upstairs in the tower, but the place, as you can see it now, says on the door is closed. It's closing down, we've been kicked out. So I thought I'd continue it here. On Friday morning now, and for whatever reason my dumbass has decided it would be a good idea to come back here after a night shift instead of going straight to bed. So as you can see, we are back outside Michelham Priory. Obviously the place is closed to the public, but we can still get up close and personal to the tower here, where the woman is said to peer over the edge into the moat looking for her son. Let's go take a closer look. Are you up there, lady? I've come to help you find your son. Now, if this was a horror film, this is the part where a grey face would peek over the edge at me. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I will probably brick it. So just down here, you can't see because it's too dark. It's obviously where the moat is, just off to the side there. I've come a long way to help you, I'm on my own. If you could just say hello for a second, I'd really appreciate it. So we gave her a fair chance there, to be fair. Can't say I didn't try. Wasn't really expecting too much more, to be honest with you. But you're never going to get anything if you don't try, are you? Bye-bye. During preparations for my visit, I sent an email to the previous manager of the property after seeing she had done an interview in 2022 in which she talks about her experiences. I'll put this on screen here so you can pause the video if you wish to read it for yourself. I thought this response was a little strange, but I wasn't going to give up just there, so I sent another email to the staff of Michelham Priory and actually ended up having a lot more success than I'd been banking on. So what is up, guys? I am back at Michelham Priory once again, this time after hours, and I'm the only person in the building. I've just been given a nice guided tour by the lovely lady that works here, and she's told me a lot of stories about this place. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour now whilst it's completely empty. This is the entrance hall just here. Now, as far as I'm aware, there haven't been any reports of paranormal activity in this area.
in this fireplace just here, a man saw what he thought to be a mannequin. It was dark trousers and black boots just in the middle there, and he emailed, because normally there's this one in the corner, if you can see that mannequin there, to say had they changed the mannequins around. And well, of course they hadn't. There is no such mannequin here. So supposedly there was somebody standing in the fireplace. Old-fashioned clothing. Now these lights turn on their own sometimes, which may or may not be paranormal, as they are obviously battery operated. Could just be down to a slight fault. Just going to head upstairs now, where most of the action seems to take place. So I'm peering up here because there have been many reports of people starting up the stairs. There was one actually a couple of weeks ago, I was told, and the head will be seen just there on the top floor, and it will duck just out of sight when noticed. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little spooked right now, as I was not expecting to be able to be in this building entirely alone today, but I'm very thankful for it, of course. Okay, just up here. When this place was closed, not too long ago, there was a man that worked here, and he heard a noise in this room here. He was a big bloke, and he came running up these stairs, and as he got to about here, he heard footsteps going round this side to the right, as if somebody was running away from him. So he gave chase. He got to about here, just coming round the corner, and then one of these light bulbs exploded right over the top of his head. And the other staff came in, asked him what happened, and he was obviously very shaken up. Now this cupboard door here, this apparently always opens on its own. It hasn't done so much since they've moved it, because it used to be somewhere else. But I believe this is the one that was actually almost haunted as well, and they caught it moving. Whether it genuinely happened on that show or not, I'm not sure, but it does actually happen in real life. Again, this door here, this is a very heavy door. Don't know if you probably can't tell that from the video, but it latches, and there's a panel there as well. And the woman that was just showing me around has said this door is known to open on its own. Look, it's so heavy it won't open all the way. You have to physically pull it, but it does open on its own. Now there were some chairs in this room before, which they've gone now apparently, but they always used to move. But this room in general, I was told, isn't actually a paranormal hotspot in general, but there is a fire extinguisher there that does sometimes move to about there. No explanation. Obviously when the place is closed, not when it's open, because that could just be the guest. And here, this little room here, she was saying quite often, well not quite often, but sometimes, she'll walk past and these ropes will be swinging, as if someone's just moved them, or somebody's in there. Obviously, all of these things I'm telling you happen after the place is closed, and it's just her here, or one of the cleaners sorted the place out for the night. And this room here at the end, apparently some of the people that work here absolutely hate this room. They don't like being alone in here. But there has been a figure about yay high, fairly short, just a dark shape with glowing red eyes seen here. I'm just going to take you back downstairs and probably speed this bit up. Just down to the kitchen. Now a couple of the staff in this doorway here have seen a shimmering sort of figure standing here in the doorway. And the lady was just saying that one day when she was coming out of this room here, there were ghost hunts going on in the kitchen here and in the room around the corner there. And as she closed this door, something grabbed her hand, physically pulled it down. Now she's worked here for a long time. I'm not going to give too much away. She doesn't want to be on camera, that's fine, whatever. And in the kitchen, this is one of the most active rooms. Quite often you'll hear things clinking, clanking around when there's nobody in here. This cupboard in the end here, this door here to the right is incredibly stiff. Like, I can't even open this. But this is one of the doors that opens on its own. And she has been here before. She's come in, shut the door, thinking maybe it just came open. As you see, it's very stiff, and then a minute later it'll be open again. So just to show you guys quickly, there was a small area that was closed off when I was there on my own. There's a second hallway here, which is to the right of the stairs as you come upstairs. And the first room is like a small staff-only room. People have said they get a lot of bad vibes from this room, and looking at that big black cabinet in the corner did make me feel a little uneasy. Don't know why. And then at the end of the hall, there is the old child's bedroom. Now, I would have thought this would be one of the places where there might be some kind of activity just because of the creepy children stuff, but apparently there isn't really much that happens in this area. And just out of shot to the left of the image here is a toilet block. Now, a couple of weeks ago, as of filming, a young girl came running out of that toilet block crying to her mum. When she asked her what was wrong, she said she was scared of the man with the long neck that was peering over the top of the cubicle. Now, obviously, that's enough to worry any parents. They went running in there to confront the man, but there was nobody in there. And finally, I just wanted to show you the inside of the passage, one of the passages inside the walls where the ghost of Rosie is said to live. During the editing process, I received a message from an old friend of mine who works as an electrician. He did some work at the Priory several years back, and this is what he had to say. So there we have it, guys. That was Michelham Priory in East Sussex. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to Michelle at Michelham Priory. I didn't use her name in the video because I wasn't sure if she would want me to do that, but she has come forward and said she's happy with that. So there we go. Michelle, thank you so much for letting me do what you did. As always, at the end of the video, I just want to give my final thoughts on the place that I have visited, and I will say, out of all the places I've been so far, I think this one has the most potential to genuinely be haunted, and I will be going back there in the future. Next video is the Royal Bath Hotel in Bournemouth. This is sort of the UK's answer to the Shining Hotel from what I can tell. That'll be up in the next couple of weeks. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.